Welcome. This is Cut the BS, Build the Dream, the podcast where we quit making excuses and we start making moves. I'm Brittney Kosev, real estate broker, single mom, investor, and founder of BK Real Estate. And today's episode, it's a true gut check. It is a line in the sand moment, a no more halfway message for the people who say they want it. But maybe you still haven't burned the damn boats. So my question is, are you interested? Or are you committed? So let me start by telling you something real. You will never build the life you want with interest alone, treating it like a hobby, because interest doesn't create millionaires. Interest doesn't raise strong families. Interest doesn't keep marriages healthy. Interest doesn't change legacies. When you're just interested in something, you do it when it's convenient. Like I said, like a hobby. But when you're committed, you do it no matter what. And let me ask you, are you doing it when it's convenient, no matter what? Because there is a big difference between saying you want something and actually living like you do. You say you want to start the business. You say you want to lose the weight. You say you want to write the book. You say you want financial freedom. Cool. Are you committed though? Are you waking up early, or are you still snoozing the alarm, snoozing on your dreams? Are you learning? Are you investing? Are you showing up? Or are you just wishing and hoping and scrolling and praying? Guys, listen, interest is the spark. Commitment is the responsibility to show up even when it's hard. You don't get to build a legacy on the vibes and on being in the flow and the vision boards. Yes, all of that's great. But you need to have commitment. You build it with sweat, with decisions, with this unwavering commitment towards it. Let me take you back to one of my favorite stories someone told me once. A general lands on an island with his men, right? He's got this army of men and they're about to go to war. And before they even start the march towards the enemy, he looks at them and he says 3 words: burn the boats. Now, why would he do that? Because when the boats are gone, there is no retreat. It's either fight or die, win or perish. And you know what happens when humans remove the safety net? They win, because there's no plan B, no backdoor, no exit strategy, just one path, and that's forward. So my question to you is, have you burned your boats? Have you actually committed so deeply that quitting isn't even a possibility? Or are you just kind of, interested, dabbling, trying? Because here's the truth. People who go all in on their dream tend to win. People who try to tiptoe around the risk, they usually end up running back to comfort. My favorite sport in high school was track and field, and my sport, my event was the high jump. Probably because I'm 5'10", it worked for me. But I loved watching the relays. And the very best relay, which they always save until the end, is the 4x100. The other day I was thinking about that race, and this huge analogy about life just hit me like a bag of bricks. In a relay, the baton gets passed, racer to racer, and it is an orchestrated handoff. It's precise, it's fast, it's in step with the other racer. But sometimes that handoff can get messy. Sometimes the last racer fell behind. A stumble could happen that slowed them down. It could have been raining and their cleats slip. So many things could go wrong. And in your life, if we were to think about it as a relay race, that baton might have come from your family. Maybe the good, the bad, the generational junk, the scarcity thinking that's holding you back. It could be your past choices. It could be your trauma, your privilege, your mistakes, all the stuff you didn't ask for. But guess what? The baton is in your hand now. And you, my friend, you're the anchor of that race, the last leg. And people are yelling, stick, and boom, you've got it. And now what you do is your responsibility. If you're behind, then you've got to run faster. You have to finish strong. You don't get to blame the handoff anymore. You don't get to blame the other racers anymore. This is your race now. You can't jog. You don't need to conserve energy for later. This is it. This is your race. Let me tell you about what this looks like in real life. I love the Summer Olympics. And a perfect example of this moment was in Paris 2024, the U.S. women's 4x100 relay. Sha'Carri Richardson, she gets the baton and she's in 4th place. She's already behind, but she doesn't hesitate. She doesn't look around. She pushes all the thoughts out of her head and she puts her head down and she goes. She puts the speed on, and one by one, she passes Germany, then Great Britain, and finally she crosses the finish line and she's in first place. The crowd erupts. Gold medal, redemption. And you know what she said afterward? She said, there was nobody that I was going to allow, not even myself, to be in front of me. Guys, that's what it looks like when you're committed. No excuses, no stories, just sprinting like your life depends on it. Because it does. You know what commitment looks like. It looks like staying up late when you're tired, putting in the extra reps at the gym when you don't feel like it, waking up early, choosing discomfort over distraction. So many of you think your problem is lack of resources. No. No, your problem is lack of resolve. You keep giving yourself an escape. For 3 years, I worked 2 jobs, school librarian by day, real estate agent by night and weekends. My 3rd year, I made more selling houses than being a librarian. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go all in to commit. And you know what I did when I left my job as a school librarian? I didn't leave with a parachute. I didn't have a huge nest egg of savings. I left with pressure. That pressure, it was the bills, the kids, right? Single mom, the debt. It lit a fire under me because I had to win. I committed to long days and nights and worried, but it was the fuel I needed to go big. And that 4th year in real estate with no protection of my salary, the benefits that I had from education, I tripled my income. Tripled. That commitment, it pushed me further than I ever thought I could go. I burned the boats. There were no other choices, no going back. And you know, when I think about me compared to other agents who don't make it, I didn't beat my competition with talent. I wasn't smarter than anybody else. I beat them because they quit and I didn't. I beat them because I was willing to hurt for what I wanted. I looked at their weaknesses and I said that they're not going to outwork me. Because interest, it shows up on day 1. It showed up when I signed up for my classes, right? But commitment, it shows up on day 91 when you're tired, you're broke, you're frustrated, and nobody's cheering you on. And no matter what got me to the anchor leg in my relay, all the excuses I could make if I didn't succeed, my humble beginnings, my divorce, my fear, all the reasons I could say if I didn't succeed, if I didn't win this race of life, if I threw them out, and I just sprinted, guys. I want you to stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you're committed when you're just curious, when you're treating your business, your goals, your dreams like a hobby. Stop calling it God's timing when it's really just your procrastination. Let me make this real plain. Commitment is not sexy. It's not glamorous. It's not convenient, but it is powerful. And so today, ask yourself, what are you pretending to be committed to? But really, you're kind of just acting like you're interested. What boats do you need to burn? What baton is in your hand right now? And are you running like you mean it? Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you the win, but you can run your leg. You can finish your race. And if you're really wanting to commit, really commit, you can win. Burn the boats. Thanks for listening to Cut the BS, Build a Dream. And before you go, I'll leave you with a question I always ask at the end. How are you cutting the BS to get closer to your dream? Now go burn the boats, grab that baton, and run.